here we have plenty of Pokemon news. There was a Nintendo Direct today, and after the Nintendo Direct, they showed a treehouse where they play the game and talk about the game and answer questions and explain.
And then they dropped a bomb on us.
Yeah, I got Duncan here with me because we're gonna discuss. We were both watching at the same time. Apparently, they themselves. Now, I'm saying this. I have to clarify because a lot of people are in denial about this statement. They said that not every Pokemon will be in the game, more or less. That's what they said.
Yeah, they made it seem, well, based on the translation we have, that some people are denying, and as you said, lots of people in denial. They made it seem like it's about like the volume of work required to bring every Pokemon to the game, and so they're just not even coding them into the game, which is
so odd.
Yeah,
they've never done this before, and it's just weird that they would do it now. Especially with I'll read exactly what they said. I have what they said verbatim, meaning this is directly what he said out of his mouth. Yeah. And now we're well over 800 species in the game. And at Game Freak, we really spent a long amount of time thinking about what the best way to move forward was, really preserving the quality of all the different Pokemon, while also taking into account the battle balance, having so many Pokemon available, all within a limited development. Battle balance, bro. They got me fucked up. They got me fucked up. Battle balance? Z was out here deleting Pokemon. Mega Kangaskhan was running rampant for years. Yeah, get me out of here.
Landorus T exists?
I couldn't keep a straight face, bro.
Mega Mewtwo? Yeah, that's balanced. Oh my god.
All within a limited development time, so we don't keep fans waiting too long for every new entry into the series. A Pokemon game comes out every single year, okay? Now, sometimes they buy time. Like, Let's Go, I feel like, was just... I'm not saying it was a game just to buy time. But,
Usum and Let's Go were both games to buy time. Come on, let's be real.
They had plenty of time to develop this game. They had years. 3, 4, 5 years. And after a lot of discussion, we decided to come to a kind of new direction. And what that means for Pokemon Sword and Shield is that players will be able to transfer their Pokemon from Pokemon Home only if they appear in the Galar region Pokedex. So we were very careful. We spent a lot of time thinking what the best selection of Pokemon to match the setting of the adventure would be. So
and then they put the ice creams in it.
Ice creams? Oh, right. Hey, they're clean. What you mean?
Pokemon, gotta catch some of them.
That's crazy. Most of them.
That's so stupid.
So I'll talk more about the details in future opportunities such as media and reviews, but I wanted to let you know today. And I know there are a lot of users of the Pokemon Bank service that are looking forward to Pokemon Home, so I wanted to let them know what the change would be well in advance. So, to me, it clearly sounds like not all Pokemon will be available. That's what he said. And people are taking that and running and trying to misconstrue that into anything that they actually want him to have actually said.
Bro, it's the internet. People are so desperate. They're so desperate for the game to be what they want it to be that they'll ignore the facts. They just ignore the facts.
He said it out of his own mouth. Why would I not believe him? That is not a small thing to say. That is not a small thing. That is not something you should hear and assume is wrong. When the man who is so deeply involved in Pokemon is sitting right there telling you.
Yeah, it's such a crazy idea. I can't get my head around it. I really can't.
It's just, for the completionists out there, the people that play the game and 100% Pokemon and collect every single Pokemon, it sucks because now
it's their tagline. It's literally their tagline. It's
right.
Gotta catch
them all. Now you can't in this game. Now a lot of people are saying, they're probably gonna have all of them, and maybe they'll add them in later, but. This isn't what he said. I mean, maybe they will. Yeah, maybe they will. But that's not what he said.
Maybe they will add them as DLC. That is possible. But they add them as DLC.
Why would you add Pokemon that are already available? I guess, have they done that before? Have they added Pokemon that were already existing?
They held off in XY. They held off on Pokemon Bank for a few months.
Yeah, I remember
and then they allowed stuff to come in.
Well, was that for a reason like this though?
Yeah, it was to have its own balance. We want it to be balanced without the mons from the previous game, and we want people to enjoy the new Pokemon and blah 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 blah. Like,
but they basically said here that they're not doing it because of the development time.
Yeah, exactly. It's a different reason.
It's a different reason.
Last time's reason was different.
Yeah, this is a way worse reason to me.
Yeah, because last time's reason made sense, and then the Pokemon were in the game. They were coded in. People cheated them in and stuff like that. Like, they existed. This time, he's just, the way they're saying it is we're not going to make them exist. You can't gen in or hack in or whatever a Pokemon that isn't in the code of the game. You know?
Right. Now, to be fair, all right, there are plenty of Pokemon that are completely irrelevant. Many of them.
Oh,
Hundreds.
I'm with you. I'm with you, right? But the problem is that, as you said, every Pokemon is someone's favorite Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so the Pokemon might be irrelevant to you, but it's not irrelevant to
Little
everyone.
Timmy might fuck around and sob if his Maractus isn't available for him to bring.
Yeah.
What about the people that bring Pokemon from game to game? What about the guy that has
that really like that team? That's the bit that blows my mind, because when they talked about this new Pokemon Bank replacement, that's what's it called? It's called Pokemon Home. When they talked about Pokemon Home, they're like, oh, you know, bringing your Pokemon through the generations with you is such a huge part of our game. Like, you've got to love them and actually view them as your pets and blah, 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 blah. And now they're like, nah, that pet's illegal in this country. You can't bring that in.
It just makes me curious as to which Pokemon are going to be missing. Now, I said it on Twitter. I'll say it again. Now, we all know not a single Kanto Pokemon is missing. Not a single one.
Yeah, not a single one. Every Weedle is right there. And we know Domaniton's not going to be in it because he doesn't deserve to be. He's no one's favorite Pokemon. He's not anyone's favorite Pokemon.
That's insane. I'm being disrespected in my own home, on my own channel.
No, it's crazy. It's crazy.
It is crazy. It was crazy just to hear him say that, because no one ever thought that would ever be a reality. Pokemon missing. Like, I really, you know, it's excusable to some degree. Not really truly excusable, but it's, in my mind, it's excusable to some degree to have lower quality if you're adding more quantity. Now, that's not how it should be, but that's how things
But it's
are
excusable.
Sometimes. Yeah, exactly.
But they can't talk about quality, though, when we were watching the stream, and Scorbunny doesn't even have an animation for its physical attacks.
Right, that was pretty whack. And there were frame drops out the ass everywhere.
Oh my god, so many frame drops. Not even in the like big open space where you could almost understand it. Like Breath of the Wild dropped frames in the big open space. It was dropping frames everywhere, in battles.
In battles, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they're not putting all the Pokemon in? Like, what is this? But when I say this shit about Pokemon, when I criticize them because they do bullshit all the time, everybody gets on my head talking about
you can't like criticize Pokemon.
They suck because they fucking
it's sacred.
suck.
Pokemon is sacred, bro.
What are they now? You don't even have all the Pokemon in the game. Now what are you gonna say? Not everybody's gonna be mad about that. Obviously, I'm not really mad about it. I'm just kind of shocked, honestly. But plenty of people will be mad about this.
Oh, I'm mad about it. My entire content is roulette free-for-alls, and they just cut out a bunch of stuff that could get rolled. I'm gonna have to pay to have my app recoded. That sucks.
Now, okay, when somebody's finally affected by this not every Pokemon in the game thing, is that when people will finally start to realize that Game Freak fucking sucks? They suck. They fucking suck, man.
They really do. They do not care.
What are they doing? What are they doing?
Look, the thing is, again, I've said this so many times and people don't listen to me, but the video games are just an advertisement for Pokemon. They don't view them as the most important thing. And they never have, because they don't make anything like as much money from the video games than they do from the trading cards and the toys and all of that. The video game is just a way to keep the franchise growing and moving. It's how they add new Pokemon. Yeah. Because you know the TCG is still going to print every single Pokemon ever. Like,
yep.
The video game
people
is
buy TCG cards like literally nonstop all day.
Yeah, the video game's just how they introduce the new Pokemon. It's like it's their tradition. It's sort of we move it forward generation by generation using the video game, and then that sells our other products, our plushies and our trading cards and our drinks and all of this. Like it's crazy the amount of money that this franchise makes, but when you look at the video game, it's such a small percentage.
It's pretty crazy.
And so they don't care.
They sell so many copies too.
Yeah,
and it's still nothing compared to other things. All right, well,
each TCG release makes more. It's crazy.
Well, that's enough about that, because the other thing we wanted to talk about in this video was they also said on the Treehouse after the Direct that Dynamaxing has replaced Mega Evolution and Z moves, which is a pretty big deal because those are two staples in competitive play
This
right
video
now.
is crazy. It's like we talked about the worst possible thing they could have done, and then the thing that we've dreamed about since
Right.
X and Y. No more Mega Evolution, dude.
Now, obviously, Mega Evolution is cool. I would never say that it's not cool. It is cool as far as like,
it's so cool. It's super cool, and
Right.
it was really fun in the game itself. But in competitive,
in competitive, it was
it's so
pretty,
messy.
Yeah,
And then
it was
Z moves
over
on top of
centralizing
it.
too. Super over centralizing.
Yeah, and then Z moves on top of it. It's just been so messy. It's
Like,
crazy.
Yeah, in standard OU battles, for example, like if you didn't bring a Mega Evolution, you're just at a disadvantage automatically. As well as the same thing with the Z move. So you pretty much have to bring counters to a Mega Evolved Pokemon. You have to bring your own, and you have to bring a Z move to every single battle. Whereas with just Dynamaxing, you don't really have to bring anything because you can Dynamax any of your Pokemon at any time.
Yeah, and it's not item based. We actually saw that it wasn't item based for the first time because
every Pokemon had Everstone.
That had an Everstone, yeah.
Yeah, every Pokemon in the demo has an Everstone because they don't want Pokemon to evolve. So they gave them all Everstones, but you could still Dynamax your Pokemon.
Yeah,
so I'm pretty sure your item's not going to matter when you Dynamax.
The fact that Dynamaxing is any Pokemon can Dynamax also means you don't have to build your team around, this is my Dynamax Pokemon.
Exactly.
In the battle itself, on the fly, you can be like, right, this is where I need to Dynamax.
Exactly.
I'm sweeping with this Mon. It's already +2/+2, but it's going to die here if I don't Dynamax. So I have to Dynamax. And then you get those 3 turns.
That's much better than Mega Evolution that just lasts the entire battle, or a Z move on a Pokemon that doesn't really have a strong move to take out the Pokemon you have out. But now they do. They can just kill you. And now you have nothing for this Pokemon. So I'm actually really excited about that because, you know, I was a fiend. 4th gen, 5th gen, a little bit of 6th gen, or maybe like most of 6th gen. I battled nonstop. That's what I did primarily. But recently, I haven't really been interested in it. But I'm really hoping to get back into competitive with Gen 8 because that's what I love to do. Battling is like the most fun part of
and actually
playing the game for me.
You know, the silver lining is actually that a lot of these like really strong OU mons might not be in the game because I don't see how they're going to put in like Landorus and Tornadus and Thunderous, for example, when they're trying to justify as these are the mons that fit in the region.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was actually gonna say that I think legendaries are the most justifiable Pokemon not to bring over.
Yeah, to cut.
Yeah, because they're
legendaries
they don't need to
of
be
regions.
in this region.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna
So
say that.
There are good things that could be cut that could really change. Like mons could really start to shine because they might have been completely outclassed. Like Landorus outclasses a lot of ground types.
A lot.
But all of a sudden, like there could be a ground type that's actually good in competitive because it's not outclassed anymore. There's not a better option.
Exactly.
So
maybe it could be for the better. Who knows?
Yeah, you know, silver lining.
Really
Duncan being an optimist. Someone drugged him.
It really could be for the better. That's what I was saying before though. Before we started recording, they really should have elaborated more on that point because they have the entire Pokemon community, you know, on YouTube everywhere. They have the entire Pokemon community in a tizzy right now.
Yeah,
people are nervous. They are shook right now. They don't know where they're going with that statement of them not bringing every Pokemon over. They really should have elaborated on that just a little more.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. I think it's going to be a really interesting couple of months building up when we find out more about this.
Yeah,
and they and every reveal now, every trailer where we see a Pokemon from an old game, that now matters because that Pokemon's in the game now.
Yep.
So we've got to go back through all the old screenshots.
That's so funny.
Oh my god, we get to keep Bunnelby. Holy.
Yeah, I saw Tyranitar. I'm good.
That's true. I saw Rhydon. Wait, did we see Rhydon? We saw Rhydon.
Yeah, we saw Rhydon.
He's Gen 1. It doesn't matter. He's in there.
Yeah, Gen 1 Pokemon aren't going anywhere. Anyways.
They could cut starters too. They could cut a lot of starters.
Yeah, starters don't need to be in every region either.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, there's plenty of Pokemon that they could easily just not include that don't really matter too much.
Yeah.
Starters and legendaries are honestly fine to cut.
The game could feel very full, and you play through the game and you don't really notice even that mons are missing. The thing that it's gonna really affect is competitive.
It's more the people. Well, yeah, competitive, and it's more the people that just like like having their favorite Pokemon on their teams and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, and people like when people play through it again and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, I can't do my solo Scrafty run or my like,
Yeah, exactly. It affects those people the most.
Yeah, and I feel sorry for those people because there are people who really just play Pokemon. That's the thing I forget all the time because I play so many different games.
Yeah.
But there are people who, in their spare time, they just play Pokemon.
And that's it.
And so replayability is really important.
Uh-huh.
And this does cut into that. So I feel sorry for those people. I do.
But we might not even need to feel sorry because we don't know what Pokemon are going to be missing. They need to tell us.
Yeah.
It's just weird that they ended it on that note. It's like when somebody tells you that they need to talk to you and then they don't tell you what about. You're gonna feel anxious the whole time.
Yeah, you're just waiting. Like,
you're just waiting. Like, whoa, shit! What did I do? Did I do?
And then they say
wrong?
hi, and then you're like, okay, you finally sit down, you start talking to them, and like, yo, we should go get dinner sometime.
Right.
Like, that's it. Damn, dude, like you had me shook.
It's just weird, man. I've never seen them do something like that. It's very thoughtless. I don't think they knew what would happen once they said that.
No, I don't know. They did.
Anyways, that'll be enough for this video. Check out Duncan. Wait, did you change your YouTube URL? Or is it still the same? Like, I don't know. What do I link?
I'll give you a link, but it's Duncan Can't Die. It's Duncan Can't Die.
He's immortal.
I'm immortal. It's true.
So yeah, check him out. Let me know which Pokemon you think is going to be missing from the game in the comment section below. And we'll be back with another video.
Yikes.